Okay, so I'm not gonna do the grown-up thing and sit at the desk with my phone propped up because I am a 12-year-old and I am in a like pile of pillows and I'm like buried. I don't know if you can even see that. And that is comfortable. So I am staying buried under pillows. Um, okay, so to start with responses to Kate's last video, you're talking about notes and like the calendar thing. Um, My calendars from my New York era are so thorough. Like, I would write things down before, during, or after the thing to make sure that every single thing was recorded. So, like, and I would use hashtags for some things too. So, like, anytime I went to a baseball game, I would write, like, away team, at symbol, home team, and then I'd put, like, a dash, whoever else was there. And then in the description, I'd put, like, hashtag baseball, hashtag MLB. That way I could, like, very easily identify, like, okay, I can associate this with the right memory because it's like I know who the person was, who I was sitting with, or I know who the away team was, so I know exactly what was going on. So I relate to how a calendar can tell a whole story because like I have so many things where it's like, okay, birthday party here, but then like afterwards it's like, all right, we're just gonna go to Taco Bell for Twisted Baja Blast. And so after birthday party I would add Taco Bell. And then it's like, how do you forget that night once you have that in your calendar? So that's super helpful. On a much, much, much more thorough level, when I went on the cruise last week, I meant to look at this. On my notes it says look it up, but I took notes, maybe like 7 or 8 pages, 12-point font, single spaced, worth of notes in a 5 night cruise because it was such a good experience. I did not want to forget a single thing, so I wrote down every detail. So like there were so many times where I'd be sitting somewhere and it would be like relaxing time where normally I'd be reading, but I just kept writing my notes. So, but I'm glad I have them because now I can reread them 50 times. And I'm really happy about that. Min and the trackpad thing, I totally believe you. I wasn't trying to say I don't believe you because have you seen those like TikTok videos of dogs where they have like a bunch of buttons and they can very clearly indicate which one they're intending to say like I'm hungry, it's dinner time, or treat or walk or potty break, whatever. They can do what they need because it's like they can make that association and keep it. Pets are smart. Like cats and dogs specifically are able to make those connections, I think. The 18,000 words in 2 days thing, not as hard as I thought. So I had 3 days to do it and didn't end up taking the third day. But I was thinking like, okay, it'll be every hour of every day, and it's like that's not really how 9,000 words in a day works. Or it was like on off, and I would go like clean a little bit of the house, write, clean, write. Because like I said, I was cleaning up after Thanksgiving, and so it would be like, all right, I don't feel like writing anymore. I'm really tired of this. Okay, now I'll clean for 20 minutes as a break. And that'll be my reward because I finished writing. And then once I'm bored of cleaning, my reward for that would be going back to writing. And it was a really good system for me. um, Kate, I'm not surprised you've never been on a cruise because um, it's like a very specific kind of hobby. And I think there aren't a lot that leave off the West Coast in general. So like I think probably people who live in Florida are the most likely people in this country to be on cruises. There are a lot of cruises that leave out of New Jersey and New York too. I guess Seattle has a port, but those are like cold weather cruises. So that appeals to some people, but not everyone. I want to go on one of those someday, but not yet. Um, I was thinking about like whether the food would be an issue, and usually they're really good with dietary stuff. So I would think they'd be able to do substitutions, replacements, give you an alternate menu item. I don't know about like airborne allergy issues because that could be an issue. Um, I don't know. If you're ever looking to find a cruise buddy, I'm probably your girl. I really like them. I've been on two, and I have two next year. I mean, this year. So I'm really, it's like, I keep thinking at any given time, I'm like, oh my god, I only have one hobby. But the thing is, depending on the day, that one hobby that I think I'm hyperfixating on is different. So, like, a few weeks ago, if you had said, Phoebe, you only have one hobby, I would have said, oh yeah, MCU, Marvel. And then a few weeks before that, if you'd said, Phoebe, you only have one hobby, I would have been like, yeah, Major League Baseball, this year, the Angels. And then like a few weeks before that, or a few months, I guess, I was thinking about Disney and wanting to go on 10 Disney trips. And so that could have been my potential obsession. So it's like, I like am super hyper focused on several things. So it's like, I think of it as like, I only have one hobby, but I have several. And I just, my attention span is short. So I forget about them in the midst of that conversation with myself. um, I think the Virgin Cruises is the one I just went on. I think they're more focused on food. Like it's their thing is their like the best food at sea basically. So they might be better able to adapt to food allergies. I don't know. That is completely a guess. I have no idea because I didn't have any dietary restrictions. But it seems like the kind of thing that they would have in mind, keep in mind. Maybe. It's also more expensive when you don't win it. But I'm gonna go on another one someday. I'm gonna save money for it because it was a worth it, that experience. Talking about health is good and not boring. It's like when I talk about mental health, I think of this as a safe space where you can say whatever you want, and I'll listen. They'll listen. It's like you at the beginning of your video you said something and I didn't write down what it was, so I don't have it. But it was something like, "Oh, I'm not talking about important things." It's like, when are we ever talking about important things? Like 10% of the time. Like most of the time we're just talking about whatever's on our minds, and that's the beauty of it. Like that's the best part of this channel is it's really just like a conversation back and forth about random things. Sometimes like with yourself, sometimes with other people, sometimes with just like a thought that pops into your head out of nowhere, a thought from your cat, whatever. It's still just whatever's on your mind. The ibuprofen thing would actually be amazing. Like, so I don't take it very often, but when I do, it is super, super, super important. And if I had to go 6 years where I didn't have ibuprofen, I would be screaming from the rooftops if suddenly I got access again. Like, that would be a really big deal because like when I have a headache and nothing else can do it, like that's a game changer. And so like if you can get a regular over the counter strength ibuprofen to deal with regular normal headaches and booster aches and everything, like that is an epic exciting thing because you deserve that. Everyone deserves access to that kind of thing. I am very biased and I think most medications should be over the counter. Like I don't see the reason why bipolar meds should be restricted to insurance and super expensive otherwise, because our whole society would be a lot healthier if literally all meds that do not have an addictive component were available for over-the-counter prices. Or free. I mean, I'm socialized medicine all the way, so free is great too. But like, if I could get a bottle of that for $10, like have the government subsidize it, whatever. I don't care. Like it would be a game changer. And like I'm thinking mental health because my whole life is viewing the world through mental health lens. But like in general, physical and mental health is important. And it's like if we could get, I mean, I guess it has to be government healthcare, but like come on. I could scream about health insurance for hours. That's not what this video was meant to be about. Those were my notes on like reaction notes, and then I definitely had something that I was thinking I was going to bring up, but I don't remember. My Secret Santa got me tea. I put a bunch of things on my Secret Santa, and some of them were that I like Marvel and that I like Harry Potter. So I don't have it. Wait, did I mention this last week? I totally mentioned this last week. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I was very excited that the Secret Santa got me tea, and I have had it several times, so it was very fun. And I don't know what else I was going to say. So I'm going to wrap it up here, but talk as long as you want. I will keep watching them, even if they're 14 minutes or longer and beating. DFTBA, I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.